Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of CEA Live, where I'm talking with players, captains, and organizers of the CEA. Today, I have with me people from League of Legends. Say hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, so I have Mega Zero with me, Bizarra, Aroga, Kazastankas, and Peter. Peter is our game lead for League of Legends, and let's first go around, say who your company is, what your favorite champion is, and how long you've been playing in the CEA, starting with Peter.
So currently I work for Amazon as a IT support technician. So I'm making the big money. Clearly not. I have been with the CA on and off actually. I played one season about a year ago when it was actually the After Hours Gaming League. I took one season break and then I came back the next season. What was the last question?
Favorite champion?
Oh, I'm a Vayne pocket pick.
In pocket pick, alright. Let's go with Kazastankas.
Yeah.
Also, how do you pronounce your name?
Because I organize. Don't worry about it. I organize most League of Legends and also other games for corporate esports at Facebook. Been at it for a pretty long time, I guess, including most of like the 5 years at HGO, then all the years at CEA. Favorite champion? I don't know. It's been a while since I played, but it's gonna be, let's just say Scion.
Okay. And Aroga next.
Sure. So I'm working for Twitch. I'm a software developer. I've been with CA probably since the first season. First season I actually played for Amazon, and since then for Twitch now. And favorite champion, probably my permaband Morgana.
Alright. Bizarra?
Hey, I'm an executive assistant at Amazon. I first participated in the HGL 2017 fall season. And then after that, it converted, or rather CEA started up. So I've been playing since the beginning. My favorite champion is probably Lucian. He's fun to play.
Alright, and Mega Zero.
Hey, I'm Mega Zero. I guess I've also been playing in CA or AHGL since 2017. I actually played on Amazon that split, and then I switched over to Google. Had to make sure Amazon lost that year, and now Google won this year. I guess favorite champion is probably Aurelia. I think she just has like a lot of outplay potential.
Alright. Cool. So we were joking that like the A in CEA is kind of turning into Amazon. There's so many Amazon employees. But yeah, so hold on. I've lost all of my lists. They went everywhere. Yeah, so how has like the tournament structure for this game or for this season kind of affected your teams? Starting with Aroga?
Not everybody at once.
Sure. I mean, the tournament structure changed that we don't have the open Swiss anymore, and we have like the two groups. So for us, it changed a little bit in terms of the two Twitch teams we have currently are not necessarily like we have a team A or team B, which is a little bit impacting the performance of one of our teams. But otherwise, I think it's a great opportunity to get some good training in as well for the teams which usually would dominate other teams, and to remove that factor for the teams which would just get crushed. So I think it was a change for the better.
Bizarre and Kaz, thoughts?
You can lead.
I insist. You go ahead.
Alright.
Oh no, escape broke again.
Is he gone?
So we've had several Skype issues with Kaz right now, so
No worries.
while that comes back online, if If you have any thoughts on like this current season.
Yeah, the most obvious change that they made this CEA split compared to previous ones was that they segregated the top 8 teams into their own kind of round robin bracket, and I like it for the most part. I think my overall feelings towards it, both as a player and as a captain on a team, is positive. Because I do agree that when you have these teams that are like a little bit more invested, a little bit more experienced with the game, they're more competitive and less looking for the social aspects of the tournament. It makes sense to separate them because then you're not having these games where it's a stomp against like a team that's maybe less experienced with the game, right? And that way it's less frustrating for both parties. That said, on the other hand, you could also make the argument that we get to meet less people because we're engaging with less participants in the tournament. So I could see both arguments there. But from a tournament integrity competitiveness approach, I do agree with the move.
All right, now I can be my turn after my Skype has crashed and uncrashed.
Welcome back.
I'm assuming I can still be heard, yes?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so my perspective is still in general supportive, though I do. So Facebook has 3 teams in the top 8 round robin this season for the top, and 2 of those teams are not necessarily supposed to be top 8 in terms of like if I were to do a objective evaluation of their strength against the field, they're probably not supposed to be top 8, and this does cause some interesting matchups to happen where like I can basically look at the competition of the top 8 and have a pretty high confidence gesture of knowing what the ending record will be after the round robin proceeds, which is a little bit of a downside. But there is definitely some pathological outcomes for these teams are like not quite top 8 separated correctly, and in some cases those do turn into well, I guess we weren't not getting stomped before, but as the bottom team of the top 8 I am now repeatedly getting stomped, even though compared to the rest of the tournament I'm theoretically the middle of the pack. So in those cases it's a little bit unfortunate, but I would say that this general system still works out reasonably well, on the contingency that we do a reasonably good job of picking out the separated group of upper teams, because this is a system that worked relatively well in Rocket League when it was first tried, and I think it could still do well here as well.
I just want to interject real quick. Part of what happened with that situation was several teams that were in the top 8 didn't come back. And then with some of the ruling that we have regarding that, we had to keep a minimum amount of the rosters for a team to qualify. So we ended up going down to a couple of the teams that were on the top 16 to fill in those gaps, just because we had so many teams that were in the top 8 that didn't come back or qualify due to roster changes.
Can I ask a question?
You go ahead.
Just real quick, wasn't there originally implemented, or there was going to be an implementation of like a switch in the top 8 round robin, where like halfway through the split, like the bottom 2 or 3 teams get swapped out for the top 2 or 3 teams in the lower bracket?
Yes, you're talking about the crossplay?
Sure.
That's what it's called. So the crossplay, that's week 8, which is I believe in 2 weeks, because this is week 6 tomorrow. Week 8 is the week where we're supposed to have those crosses between all of the round robins, the mini round robins we're doing right now. So that's where we'll have the upper round robin and the lower Swiss that broke up compete against each other. There's still a little bit discussion regarding how we're going to do the change from 16 to 32 teams going into the playoffs, because we have to find somewhere for that extra week to not happen.
Yeah, the one thing I was mentioning was with a lot of teams joining the CEA this season, though, I experienced it for like especially comparing the matchups for the 2 Twitch teams. Like certain matchups in the open Swiss system are even tougher than some top 8 Swiss games. So that was. I don't think Microsoft played before this season, or was not considered part of top 8, but they're kind of dominating the Swiss system a little bit. So, I mean, this is always what you run into when you have season overlapping statistics, basically.
Oh yeah, definitely it's very it's basically very understandable. Microsoft to set the history there wasn't in the CEA or the HGL for like 3 years in a row, so them coming back is a good thing. But yes, it does throw off the evaluation of who the top teams are quite quickly because Microsoft does also have one of the largest player bases, and that in the past that generally turns into having a consistent representation of top talent on their top teams. And enough of them did actually return, which does help that. But yeah, there is definitely a combination of that happening. So we do have some killer teams in the Swiss that are not top 8, but also like if we were to theoretically rank the outcomes, they are likely closer to top 8 than some of the teams upstairs. I think one of the things that Visera may have alluded to is that in StarCraft, which is a different tournament to be fair, but a somewhat similar tournament system, they actually do have a rebalancing week 4, which is not a thing that, which I think is the StarCraft 2. I think is the only game that has a mid regular season rebalance. No other games has that. In order to clarify.
So Whisper is messaging me, and he's asking, would separating into 2 round of 4s be better? I'm assuming that's instead of a top 8 being split up into
like a top 4 and then
the
a
second top
4
4.
or 5 through 8. Yeah.
So I think it makes the people play each other over and over again problem worse,
Right.
and I don't think it necessarily mitigates the downsides of having misplaced the top 8 any better, because like it will work out if the people you misplaced were the bottom 4 teams, but let's say you misplaced the bottom 2 teams, then they still don't have a great time even if they're isolated, and then they get to do the same thing twice, right? So they also don't get the experience of meeting multiple different teams. They might just get stomped by the same teams, and then in the second phase of the tournament they get to look forward to doing it again, which may also not be great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So going away from theory crafting and more towards what you each do on your own teams, like how do you practice, and like kind of what is the organization? Is it different across? Well, I think Mega Zero, you've gone between Amazon and Google, and Aroga, you've gone between Amazon to Twitch. How has that like changed across companies? Starting with Mega Zero, we haven't talked.
Yeah.
Much.
Sure. So I guess talking about like how practice went at Amazon, I felt like we took it pretty seriously there, where it was like we'd schedule practice maybe once or twice a week, and then do games, and we even tried to convert it more into like a social thing, where like after games we tried to hang out. At Google, that's been a bit harder just because of a location difference, where it's like at Amazon, pretty much everyone was in Seattle. It's not the same at Google. And then for, I would say, practice at Google, it's pretty similar, where we try and get one night where people are free. I think right now we do Thursday nights. We try and play League for 2 or 3 hours together.
Yeah, I think like the change from Amazon to Twitch was quite interesting for me as well, because like obviously Amazon has a larger player base. I mean, right now I think Amazon has like 7 teams or so. Twitch has 2. So that was a big difference of like you get a lot less players and are more depending on those players being there every game, because substitutes are harder to get. In terms of location, I think actually we have a pretty interesting case at Twitch where we didn't set up teams by strength, we set up teams by location. So we have literally a team which is composed by all the people who are working out at the Irvine office, and we have one team which is the rest, so which is Seattle and San Francisco basically. So that is like good for team building because people are more connected to each other, but a little bit impacting the playing strength because it's not really making a team A out of the strongest players. But I definitely see it more valuable because we hang out like often, like after work or while we were still in the office, just like getting together in the office and like playing from there after work. So that was definitely a nice thing, which happened less at Amazon because of the whole organizational part of like try to get 7 teams all in the same room is a little bit harder to organize with than 5 players.
Oh, so that's why you guys can have a literal skeleton crew of a team, exactly 5 players, no subs, and actually have a workout, which is quite impressive, by the way.
Yeah.
Props.
Actually, we have one substitute in our team, but so far our team is just like very much connected to each other, so we just play all together. So it's good for organizing, but bad for including other players because you have a very sworn-in team, which is always so including other players is a little bit difficult.
So, in the tournament this season, has there been any like matches that have like gone unexpectedly, or have like been harder than you thought? I have not been paying attention to specifically to what the League of Legends tournament has.
Ooh, I'd have to look in the history for that one.
I mean, for my team, for example, like based on player strength, we were one of the we're in the top 8 bracket, but we are one of the probably the lower 2 or lower 3 teams. So it was kind of expected to where we're standing right now. It's but positively surprising how close the games are in certain aspects and not like pure domination of the other team. So like we are positively surprised by how well we can keep up.
Oh, yeah, you beat the crap out of Senators, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, we did that one, which was a good win for us, but so far also the only one. So
fair.
So, like, does anyone else have something to say on that?
Sure. I guess for the Google team, I think we ended up losing to Raytheon, which I guess their scariest player is Yoshi. And it's always interesting because I feel like every season he's switching which lane he's playing. I don't know if you guys have experienced the same, but like sometimes I'm like, oh no, he's a scary jungler, and then like he's in the top lane with me, and I'm like, why am I against him top lane? But like, he generally catches us off guard, especially because we were expecting him to play, I think it was top lane, so we left like Rengar open, which is his most played champion, and he ended up just picking it top lane and killing everyone. So maybe that was a bad idea.
Yeah, I saw that game. That was great.
Playing against Yoshi wasn't fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they do. Well, to be fair, Yoshi hasn't played that many seasons with Raytheon. I think it's just like the last 2 or 3. But he did change, I think, partially due to how their initial roster changed. Because, for instance, this year they're not running Astronomical, like basically at all, as far as I can see, and they're just like running that setup instead. And I think they used to have some of the players in other of the Raytheon teams before, and they consolidated one of their other junglers onto the team, so they're just running that. I mean, also they've been running their bot lane with like Tom Kench center, right? So there's also that going on.
Listen, it's broken.
So, how much like scouting out happens for each team, or is it like by this time, if you played so many times, you kind of know who you're playing up against?
Oh, I don't think I can rely on just like the last time I played them to know what they're gonna play because the meta changes faster than the times between we play. If it was like a StarCraft 2 like format where you can play the same team again after 4 weeks, then that might be different. But honestly, given the last 2 patches, probably not. I do a bunch of external scouting personally. Like I did it since like I don't know 7 years ago. Still do it now. Basically do it for all the Facebook teams at the same time because I have to deal with 5 teams. I'll scout every enemy team to parallelize all the work at the same time.
So you don't delegate that to the captains of the teams?
I mean, I have people play on the team so they can like play the game and like win the game that way, right? Like I'm not gonna teach them, hey, look, here's how to be an analyst and a coach at the same time.
Okay.
Because that's generally not what they sign up for.
Okay.
Right.
So what you're telling me is, Kaz, you're the brains behind the operation.
Oh no, I mean like I don't play the mechanics, right? Like you don't need brains to win a top lane matchup most of the time.
Ooh.
Oh whoa.
You have something to say to that, Mega Zero?
Because that was shade directly to you.
No man, Patrick is actually one of the brainiest top laners there is in the tournament.
True.
I will say, I guess for like scouting and stuff, at least, it was nicer when we had Battle 5 because it was easier to check previous match history, like what people played last week or 2 weeks before. At least for now, we kind of just do like a basic like op.gg, look up all the players. And I would say there isn't like a ton of strategy right now in playoffs. We generally think a bit more and spend more time actually going through what we want to do for pick bans. Right now, it's generally like you see someone with 200 Heimer games this season. You're like, okay, we're probably banning Heimer.
Nice
Maybe
guy in
don't
that
give
Twitch,
them
man.
their most played champion, but other than that, like, except when you're against Yoshi, then you just
Does not apply to Yoshi's Rengar, right?
Yeah,
Oh, of course.
Don't ban the 700 game Rengar, okay?
yeah, leave
Yeah,
that one up.
Yeah, let's not ban the guy, even though he literally has footage when he was competing in like Academy LCS of him playing as Rengar in semi-pro play. Like let's not worry about it.
I mean, it could be a
You-
secret strategy to boost their confidence, thinking that we'll leave Rengar open again.
That's when you first pick it and take it from him instead.
Oh no, you're leaking our
Wait, wait.
strategy now?
Oh, are we gonna see Mega Zero's Rengar? Oh man, that's gonna be. Great.
Oh, yes.
So, how has like the meta changed this past 2 patches?
Oh, dear Lord.
Sounds like a juicy topic. Peter, you want to
So
start
we can
off?
let Vazera lead there, I think.
Yeah, I would let Vizero start on that one.
I mean, where to even start? Oh, League is a weird game,
Wait,
man. They're like trying to.
What was the
stuff.
meta before? What is the meta now? And what changed to make the meta change?
Pro
So
play.
like the most recent like structural changes to the game that they made were the top plate, like the top turret plates cost more gold now for melee champions. So I am noticing from a jungle perspective in solo queue, there's a lot more focus towards ganking top lane just to be able to cash in on the early money. Plus, with the Rift Herald being topside, you can accumulate a lot of gold very quickly and gain an advantage on that end. So that's like one school of thought, and then the other school of thought is doesn't matter how rich your useless Garen top is, he's gonna be useless at the end of the game anyway, right? Just camp bot, get Dragon Soul, win the game, right? So in my experience, they both work 50-50 equally. It's basically just whichever jungler is like able to influence that side of the map better seems to be winning. Also, Fiddlesticks is horrible. It's a bad remake. They should revert it.
Ooh.
New animations are pretty cool though.
It's true.
Oh, everything about it is fantastic. Just the champion as a champion is horrible.
Don't like the codes.
Wait. So what about this is the change from the past?
So I would say the change is again the structural top lane. There's actually focus towards top again, because beforehand you would just leave that lane in an island. You don't care which of the two wet noodles wins the fight. You're just gonna focus bot side for Dragon Soul. But now there's actually like a strategic importance placed behind it. That's why you'll see like a lot of pro teams getting like 10-minute Rift Heralds, focusing 5 people towards the top side because it's actually worth the gold in doing so. At least in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna kind of agree with that sentiment that like as a top laner, I really like it when we get Rift Herald and I get like 800 gold from all the tower plates. That feels good. And also, in terms of meta changes of top lane, I feel like right now it's just sort of like there's a OP champion of the patch. Like before it was like Set for a while, now it's Wukong. It's still Wukong. Maybe they'll fix that.
At least they nerfed Diana.
Yeah, exactly.
Is this Diana top lane?
No.
I was like, I'm like, it's been a while since I've played like League, so I'm like, has it changed that much?
Yeah, I mean
Oh,
they
you
changed a bunch.
You probably missed the 2 weeks of Soraka top lane then.
Oh yes, Rocket Top was awful.
It's been about
But
5
those
years since I
Nasus
played.
buffs.
Peter?
But those Nasus buffs.
What about the
Oh yeah, I
Nasus?
did see Nasus got buffed. He slows a lot more now or something, right? Or from farther away, it has more range.
Yeah, more range on his withers, about the same distance as a auto on a 80 carry.
I mean that's mildly better. Just doesn't solve the fundamental problem of Nasus. It's just like, okay, so you use that, now what?
Well,
I
his
mean-
Spirit Fire now has more armor reduction. Is it just me or did people freeze?
Nope, you're still there. It's all good.
I can't tell if
We're
Aroga
just
is
ruminating,
frozen. No, Aroga moved. Alright.
We're just ruminating on the state of the meta, a series of changes where like they try to do something with the change and then something else happens entirely. Like, oh yeah, we're just gonna make Wukong's play pattern a lot better, and then like, oh, suddenly Wukong's a better tank than most of the tanks, and also better team fighting than most of the tanks. Interesting.
I really like the move where they actually nerfed him only to hotfix the issues they had to make him even stronger. Like that was very smooth.
What?
Yeah, so Wukong had actually a bug where certain aspects didn't do any damage. But even with that bug, it was too strong. So they nerfed him, but realized, hey, we have bugs. So they removed the bugs. So even the nerf made it stronger, which is very smooth move. So
I like it.
Some stuff's on fire and they just pour like oil
So
onto
yes,
it.
we can look
Yeah.
forward to some Wukong bans tomorrow.
So League of Legends is one of like the longer games. The games typically last at least 30 minutes or more, right?
It depends. Either it's 15 minutes or it's 45 minutes.
Yeah. So how does like practice work with such long games? Like, are you able to get more than one game in at once, or the typically like what is it like like a practice session usually take?
I mean, for us, the biggest issue is getting the 5 people in the same room. Once you have the same people in the same room, then if you play 2 hours or 3 hours, it doesn't really matter because you have the people there. But finding one day and time for all to play at the same time is more of a struggle than playing 2 or 3 games. 2 or 3 games.
Okay.
At least for us, it is.
Yeah, it's not really the state where you're going to like try to just sneak in one game with practice. Generally, people will book enough time that they'll only get together when people are freed up in their plans for like the rest of the night, or like enough for the rest of the night that they'll be able to play some number of games, because it's not always predictable how long any given individual game will take. It might take 15, it might take 60, depending on how good or bad you are at closing out games. And you don't want to make any like time specific commitments based on it's like, oh, I can play with you guys, but I gotta go in 45 minutes. That's probably not gonna work very well. So you kind of have to adjust around that. And to be fair, a lot of time that does mean that like it's actually difficult or sometimes impossible to get a full 5 of a team, or specifically like 5 people that are going to play that weekend, especially for teams like Facebook that makes pretty widespread usage of subs, or just like a larger roster overall, to actually be able to get consistent games together all the time before even the match day, because a lot of people's schedules don't line up. They do things. They have time with other friends. They try to play other games, etc. Not as much happening nowadays with the current recent situations that puts everybody at home anyway, but still generally like a matching problem overall.
Yeah, we generally just, with the 2 teams we have plus the substitutes we have, we just have one day where we try to get all teams together. And if it works out, we just play against each other, which is nice. And if it doesn't, we at least get like at least 5 people together, like mix and match basically from both teams to at least get some games in and like play together, which is obviously not the full team, but it's still better than nothing.
Yeah, at least for us, I would say the hardest part about practicing isn't like assembling the 5 people to have like the 2 or 3 hours you need to play the games. It's actually just the ranking system. Because we try and play flex queue together because normal games aren't as good. But at this point, like if we find a sub, it's very unlikely the sub is high enough rated in flex queue to actually play with the main roster.
I mean, that's an issue for us in general because, like, in our team, we currently have everything ranged from like diamond plat to like I think our lowest member right now is like silver. So, like, even within the team, flex is not going to work for us. The clash system helps a little bit because it's not rating dependent, and you get some like semi important games together where people are actually trying. But even with that, it's like once every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, so it's not that much of a help.
And what is Clash?
It's basically Riot's internal tournament, mini tournament. It's knockout brackets with 8 teams. Every like 3 weeks or something. I forgot.
2 weeks, I believe.
Yeah, or 2 weeks.
Whenever it's working and not the servers.
Right?
Like it constantly breaks the client though whenever I'm in a clash, so.
Because just so many people are on at the same time? Or, there's probably Riot things going on.
Yeah, it's just Riot things. Like, I mean, does anybody have a match history right now?
Does anyone see who's typing in chat right now? I just see dot
Nope.
dot dot.
Yeah, I have to tell everybody to remember to press the download button when the moment they finish their match, and not afterwards. If they quit, it's over. No replays for you.
Oh yeah, and League of Legends replays break when new patches come out, right?
Yep, that's
No.
No?
Just this time that I've noticed, actually. The last, 2 patches it's been done-ish?
I feel like they would have made an announcement about that. That's pretty big if that's true.
Maybe they're not
Well,
sure
they
if
have it on the
totally fixed it
notification.
yet.
They've been in maintenance for a while.
Yeah,
Patrick,
I haven't tried loaded on yet, so.
Patrick, you're an engineer. Can you explain why it breaks after a patch? Why can't my replays from 5 years ago
We have a
work?
bunch of engineers here. I'm pretty sure if I had to guess, it's just because they replay the game data and because all of the because that's the easiest way to store things rather than store like a full replay. It just stores like the actual actions that happen, and
Like all
because
them
balance
mouse
changes
clicks?
happens. Yeah, I would assume that's how it works rather than actually storing like a file of the replay itself, like a video.
Of like all the animations and stuff. They have like they probably have okay, when this hero or champion uses this ability, this is the animation that's gonna happen, this is damage over time that's gonna happen, etc, etc, etc. And so with a new patch, all of that information changes. And
yeah, I do remember you could actually downgrade your game, like down patch it, and you could run replays at some point.
Yep. I used to do that.
That's still an option?
I mean, it's not easy to do.
Okay. Yeah. I remember situations last season or so where we literally had like secondary laptops across all teammates, which were all on different patches. Where we had like the office computer was in a different patch and your home computer was in a different patch, so you can like at least one member of the team can potentially look at certain games. So yeah, it was rough.
was this in part of the scouting out the other teams?
Yeah, it was part of last season. I would agree what was previously said that this season with Gilded, it's a little bit less because you don't see within the tournament system what champions were played, what were statistics for previous games. Sometimes it's even hard to see what are the summer names for players on a team because they don't have their account connected or something. So Gilded made it a lot it's not was not a change to the better in terms of scouting. So that happens a lot less for our teams for sure.
Yeah, we're
I
looking
do
forward
have
to
to say-
tournament codes.
I do have to say, this is actually a work in progress. I've been talking with their engineers to get this to happen. So it is going to come.
Yeah. And for the short term, I'm doing scouting through trawling through stream recap highlights of plays
Yeah.
that are sent in.
Yeah, the
Which is actually great to like see those recap highlights. Like, it's like I would use it even if the replay and everything was available. Like the stream recap is kind of nice, especially for just looking for highlights of like awesome stuff or so. Like it's pretty neat.
Just tough when you don't have match history.
Yep.
okay. We've been talking for about 40 minutes now, and it's time to go into the mystery game, which is gonna be League of Legends. With a twist, and we lost Kaz again.
Ooh, is this gonna be Ultimate Bravery?
I don't know what Ultimate Bravery is. What is Ultimate Bravery?
It's like everybody gets random champions, and then you have to do a random build.
Okay. It's gonna be something like that. Peter, could you make a custom game in League? And then start inviting people.
I think I need to add 2 people.
And yeah,
It's like I'm friends with Mega Zero. I don't know how
Yeah.
how.
right. I
this
need
is-
to go. Yeah, let me clear up some space on my friends list first.
Yeah.
Wait, your friend is still
But a
working?
friendly guy.
No, it's mostly like I have a bunch of random friend invites from like 7 years of playing HGL, and I just don't clear off the old captains from
Mhm.
my list.
Oh, I
I
have
don't even know
people
if half them are anymore.
from my friends list right now because it's rough.
Summoners Rift 5v5. Or, well, it's not gonna be a 5v5, but.
Blind draft, random, or tournament.
Oh, shoot. Say that one more time.
Blind,
Blind.
draft.
Do blind.
Okay.
Aroga, Vizera, Mega Zero. What are your favorite League of Legends team names from the season? While the rest of us figure this out.
Like professional teams or
Either professional or in the CEA.
oh, hang on. There was a really funny team. Let me find it in the lower bracket.
Yeah, there were a lot of great names in the lower bracket for sure.
Kaz froze again. Oh dear. Whole feeds. Mm. Kaz, you're back.
Today has not been a fortunate day for my computer.
It has not. It has not.
Your computer turned very red or
Yes,
orange.
I'm aware. I'm not entirely sure how that happened. It might be possible that the blue parts of my camera have
Yeah.
stopped functioning out of trauma.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
RGB.
your computer was just upset with you.
Or I'm upset with it. I mean,
And it's
like,
just
how can you tell the difference? in
angry.
delay?
It's just something is very angry
Maybe
right now.
Maybe I'm so angry I made the entire wall behind me also red.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, well, wait, this is becoming normal again, maybe.
Maybe it was just a bunch of like the white balance stuff and like photo processing that happens.
Possible. I mean,
Post-processing.
after it blue screened off of a video schedule error, I ran right back in, so I'm sure some things were not unjiggered
Right,
yet.
right. For those
Anyway.
watching, please bear with us. So I'll explain what's gonna happen while Peter sets up a custom game and starts adding people. You're gonna have 1v1s.
Easy.
Good
You
lord.
choose the opponent's champion and the items that they buy.
So almost ultimate
Almost
bravery.
ultimate bravery, but less random.
Well, it's Nemesis draft, really.
Nemesis draft?
Yeah,
it
so
was it was a
Nemesis-
mode that was around before.
Yeah, Nemesis was a game mode where you would pick the champion that the enemy team would play, and it was all the same champion. So it's like one for all, but you pick the enemy team's
Okay.
champion.
Okay. Yeah. So
Oh my god, that would take forever.
so in Nemesis, like, what would you choose for the enemy team to play?
Well, that's revealing your strategy
Whoa.
here, right?
Hey, having a 5v5 is different than choosing something for a 1v1. Right?
So you said we also choose
Also
the
choose
items
the
that they
items
build?
All right, now I gotta look this up.
So I could tell them to pick like Rengar and build Sapphire Crystal and Fairy Charms.
Yeah? Yeah.
I gotta channel my inner Yoshi.
My endgame name is... yeah. It's been a while since I've tried to add people or do anything with my League of Legends client, so this will be interesting. Friend requests, it popped up. Good user design. Alright.
This looks fair.
Totally.
Is it fair?
Is it 1v1s or 3v3s?
It will be 1v1s, and let's just
I'm gonna give
Do we
the
have-
go with these matchups because
Are there enough spectator slots
oh,
to actually make this happen? Also, wait, can you actually make the lobby into a 1v1 lobby? Is that still a thing they can do?
So wait, is it we're all going to be having our one-on-ones in the same, like on the same map at the same time, or are we going to spectate each other's one-on-ones?
spectating each other, but
Okay.
the most
Alright, let
important
me
thing is that I
Yep.
need to be in spectator mode so that I can share it with the rest of people who are watching on Twitch.
Oh, does that mean we're remaking the lobby?
I guess so.
Yeah, we probably need spectators then.
Yeah.
I don't think it's.
There we go.
Spectate.
Are we doing
Alright,
Howling
alright.
Abyss?
If we're gonna do 1v1s, we might as well.
Fair.
Sure.
And then Kaz, did you accept me? You did not, sir.
Oh, I
It's
can
not
add him here.
that friendly, apparently.
He's gotta open up that friend list. It's cool.
He has to defriend people. That means you have to be unfriendly to defriend people. Alright, so the win condition in a rule list that I pulled up from Red Bull is either get first blood, get a creep score of 100, destroy the first middle tower. Which, if it's Howling Abyss, then the first tower. Those are the 3 win conditions. Does everyone understand that?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
And we choose the opponent champion, huh?
The opposing champion and choose their build. So if somebody backs to like buy something or to like heal up,
Luckily, I don't
Is-
think there's backing on this map.
there's no.
there
Oh
is.
yeah, there we go. All right, perfect.
Oh, so there
Solved.
is a 1v1 map?
No,
Howling Abyss.
the Aaron map.
That works enough.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to
Alright.
suspect that the crashes are being caused by me having Skype and League on at the same time.
Okay. What if you turn off your video?
Yeah, let's try this up.
Maybe- All right.
We do need to say for items that we pick, it has to be a final item. We can't just do like first tier items like a ruby.
I mean, I would bet on a person who can only build ruby crystals over someone whose first item has to be like a 1300 item, TBH.
All right. So Peter versus Aroga first.
Sure.
Yeah. Megazero, you want to join the spectator lobby?
Sounds
and then
good.
I will.
All right, let's try putting him in the lobby again. Hopefully, it will not end in disaster.
How about if we pick each other's champs? Do we want to do the same champ?
Oh yeah, do we have to like message the champion? Because somebody has to pick first otherwise.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to message you on League or something, Leprechaun.
Okay. Yeah. You can just message me on Discord, or
And
I
then
can
she can declare who has to play what.
flip a coin. I'll flip a coin. So Tempest, that's Peter. Great.
Yes.
If Google says heads, you pick first. All right. Hey Google, flip a coin. All right, Peter, you pick first. You pick Aroga's champion first. Or would it be Aroga picks Peter's champion first?
Well, you could do double blind pick, so you don't have to
It is blind right
yeah,
now,
just
information.
all right. So just DM me on Discord then your hero choice.
I wonder the chances of him and I pick the same champ for each other.
With blind pick, it allows you to pick the same hero, right?
Yeah, it's at the same time. There's no bans or anything.
Okay. Alright, and this is where I have a 2-game setup and I need to get 2 mice set up. Alright, let's go. Okay. Aroga has sent in his hero choice. An item. So with these items, this is something he can buy with like the
Correct.
starting gold? Okay.
Oh, so we're doing starting gold? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't
so-
go back and buy, so it's only starting gold.
Yeah. Do you start with 900 on this map, or is it still 500?
I think it's 13, isn't it? Or
Oh,
15?
maybe it's 13. I think you're right. I think it's 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 13.
Alright, Peter, what items should we start with? And this is a
Oh.
champion like I haven't seen before, so it'll be interesting.
What's the most useless item you can give me?
Hold on, I gotta do the math on this real quick. I gotta make sure it's the right. I gotta count the gold.
Oh, we have to give all gold, right?
Wow,
Yeah,
look
so
at this theory
if you don't
crafting.
give all gold, they're allowed to spend the rest of the gold.
Okay. However they choose. Alright. Okay, I've got items and champions for both. Is Kaz...
I am at it. You finally accepted my friend request. It's cool.
Once Kaz joins the lobby, the spectators, alright, ready to start? Alright, Peter,
Yeah.
you will be playing Mundo.
Interesting. Okay.
Alright, and Aroga?
I don't actually own him.
Oh,
Nah.
Alright.
I got
you-
time
you
to go
failed.
buy him. He's like,
Yeah, looks like you gotta buy it.
Yeah, let's go buy him.
So that means we gotta remake this and I gotta go
Wait,
buy him,
wait.
huh?
Yeah.
Wait,
no,
wait.
we
Oh,
just have
never
to
mind.
invite you, yeah?
I can gift it to you if you want.
Hold on, I should be able to get him with loot. I got this.
Alright, well this is happening. Aroga, You will be playing Yumi.
Okay. Whoa, shit.
As a non-biased bystander, I have to yield that is a bit one-sided. I feel like Yumi shouldn't be considered in this game.
No,
I need to
I mean
replay?
it was on the table.
I'll just wait until you see the Mundo items.
I've already theory crafted my pick.
Okay.
Is it not also Yumi?
No, I think
Oh,
it's
sweet.
worse than Yumi.
He's super cheap. I got this.
Can't tell actually.
I mean, I think there's potential things that are worse than Yumi. Yumi at least could like try to masquerade as an AP champion.
I didn't give him AP items. That's cool.
Well, of course.
Wait, we can just invite you back to the same game,
Yeah.
Oh, can you? Okay, that works.
I think. Someone
You
else
should.
do it so I don't
now I need to go
dox my
back in.
friends list.
'Cause I
Alright.
followed him into the abyss.
Are we ready to start here?
Yeah.
I'm getting Kaz. Hold on.
Kaz.
All right, there we go.
Good.
Okay. Cool.
All right, so I'm getting Moon Day.
Peter's getting Mundo, and Aroga is getting Yumi. Yumi's the little moon cat thing.
Yes,
Yo.
Visera is now looking up how to solo lane as Yumi.
I mean, Aroga is.
Oh, this is gonna be rough.
Do we have to wait the full 60 seconds, or do you guys need to lock in?
No, they're figuring out their keystone and stuff, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
And their summoners. It's very important.
Do I want to be cheesy or not? That's the question.
So, Zera, Kaz, what do you think of this matchup?
I think the Yumi's in a little bit of trouble here. I guess we'll have to see the items before we can make the call.
Alright.
If I had to guess, the Mundo might have a few mana items on him.
But hopefully they're not AP items because he actually scales with that.
Okay. Yeah, I will leave the item reveal until we get into game. Or at least once the loading screen starts.
I didn't have enough time to finish.
2, 1,
Okay.
8, 7, 6, 5.
Oh.
Wait, isn't there a delay on this?
Oh yeah, we might have a 3-minute delay up
Shoot.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, there is.
Nice.
Yeah,
Waiting for spectator delay.
So I think Yumi's going for the 100 CS win condition here. I don't know how Yumi would ever kill a Mundo, and maybe kill a tower seems impossible.
Yeah.
So for future games, I think we all just enter like the game itself, and we just AFK in the base.
Right,
Yeah,
what am
that's
I
fine.
buying?
Yeah. Okay. Peter, you are buying all mana crystals,
Okay.
and Aroga 2 coal.
Nice.
I mean, at least it's doubling down on the CS win
Does,
condition.
does
right?
Cole exist on this map?
No, it doesn't exist.
Oh, does
Okay.
it not?
Oh, now you can. You spend all your money. Let's go.
Yeah. Hey, the man's playing Yumi. You're gonna give him at least that.
Fine, but he's gonna go like AP.
I'm
I mean, he's still playing Yumi. He has like 1/3 the HP you have.
I'm assuming you guys aren't gonna start the game until Peter decides on the items.
Nah,
So you
he
can't
can
see
go
the
ahead and
loading
buy.
screen.
Peter is confident.
No, I didn't count on the Cole not being there. That's my
Not being on
bad.
Howling Abyss. Yeah.
The map
Change-
meta changed.
Yeah. What else changes between Howling Abyss and Summoner's Rift? Because Howling Abyss is a map for All Random All Mid ARAM, which came out of like a bunch of custom games before Riot was like, hey, we can make this an official game mode.
Well, there is not a jungle or river you can zigzag in and out of, which is the primary difference. There's a bush in the middle of the lane instead, which is also significant in this case. The distance I think between the outer towers is longer, like twice as long even. I don't actually remember.
Okay.
I'm either in a phase where I'm only playing AM or only playing Rift. Like it's not like there's not a whole lot of intermixing between the two.
Yeah, the ARM games are typically a little shorter, so that's the one that I usually go to.
So are you gonna be like trying to shot call them 3 minutes later or something like that, or?
Yeah. Okay. Are they in game? Is this their serious game face?
I'm waiting for them to have bought their items first, and then I'll ask our resident experts what they think Yumi should do with their unbound money spending abilities. I don't know, Patrick, if you were the Yumi in this situation, what would you go for?
I think I would definitely start one of the there's like Doran's items on this map, but better.
Yeah, the Super
Maybe
Doran's
the
item.
Guardian Horn. I'd have to look up how good Guardian Horn is, but I remember when I play tanky champions in ARAM, it's a very good item.
It's probably the only one that's worth buying out of the three, I think, in ARAM. It's kind of nutty how powerful it is. Alright, so what's the initial HP here? Oh wait, the gap actually isn't that high.
Between
He built the catalyst though.
Yumi
is
only
low.
has 130 less health. That exceeded my expectations.
Yeah, Yumi's looking pretty strong. It's only down like 12 auto attack damage, but is ranged. Has already skilled a W. That will be a good, useful ability.
Alright, because in ARAM you start out at level 3 instead of level 1.
Are you forced out W? I think you are, right?
Yeah. Well, I get it for free.
Yeah. So we start out the game with Yumi just standing in base. Mundo
There are
has
just
some
too many items.
free farm.
There's a lot of time
going on.
lost because you have to make decisions. See, the benefit of having your items decide for you that you don't make decisions. You just slam those 4 mana crystals on Mundo and go, all right, here we go.
Well, to be honest, I got like 5 more gold, which I needed, so.
So we got for summoners on Mundo, Flash, Ghost and Exhaust. And Flash and Barrier on the Yumi.
In this matchup, Yumi is probably going to be counting on the tower to do most of the damage, which seems to have already happened.
Right now it's at about both champions at about half health. So the win conditions are the first person to get 100 creeps, the first one to get a kill, or the first one to kill a tower.
Oh, we don't have ignites here. All right, no one's feeling that gutsy.
I should have.
Oh, we've got an exhaust coming out, a berry coming out.
Ooh, that was close.
Wow. That was very close.
You escaping with a sliver of life.
Yumi actually has a pretty big advantage right now.
Yeah, Mundo's gonna want this to stay long. What's the CS at? Mundo's got the CS lead, so he can stick around for a little bit.
I'd like to see a big flash play from the Yumi right here. I can feel it. The flash Q. Ooh! Oh.
There was a flash and there was a Q.
How much health does Mundo have?
Not too much.
But still alive 3 minutes later, apparently.
Yeah. Because it sounds like that they're still playing.
They could just be good actors. Don't want to spoil the ending.
Come back here.
Oh, it sounds like Peter's gonna be chasing Yumi 3 minutes from now.
The worst thing is we both have health, like regen,
Yeah, you have sustain.
a lot and no damage.
But remember how we mentioned that? Yeah, Yumi can't kill the tower. Just
Yeah, I was
look at
just
this over here.
thinking that. This tower is melting. I didn't know the cat could auto so hard. It's basically Rengar on a book.
Got the... Oh. Tower down to 622.
Like Yumi's actually pretty nutty in these auto trades. Like attacks against the champion grant her 170 damage shield. Like what is this?
It's a ranged Camille is what it is.
Yeah.
And restores 100 mana. I just think we might see solo Yumi in real play this season. Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe this will be an inspiration.
This will be the future punishment for banning the Heimerdinger from Mr. Woodchuck. Alright,
Our
so there's
actors are doing a
something
good
happened
job.
there.
Go play.
It's gonna be interesting to see, like, do you think it's someone got a kill or someone killed the tower, or do you think it's a 100 CS?
I feel
be
like
the win condition.
Yumi's gonna kill the tower, just based off of this wave building up. I think it's very hard for Yumi to die with barrier and flash.
I'm just gonna watch the stream now. So.
Be wary watching the stream because you'll also hear us talking
No,
with like a
I
bit of a
muted.
delay. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Peter, are you watching the stream? Like, are you watching
Yeah.
the game? All right. Why don't you give us a play-by-play of your thought process right now? Walk us through what you're thinking.
No.
Well, for me, basically, it's like I need to kill Mundo before he gets the ult again, because
I was
otherwise
a second away.
I Is that what happened? I guess we'll find out.
I mean, he did ult again.
that turret is pretty low.
That 287.
Yeah, but Mundo is still in the position to try to win CS here. But here comes
Going
the
for
push.
the all in.
The push. The ghost push.
That was pretty scary.
So that was the get over here quote. Yes, but now we also see like the effects of the HP growth. Mundo with no health item, 1600 health. Yumi with how much health? 225 extra health at
He does have a
1400.
catalyst.
Yeah,
Just saying.
that sustain though.
Yeah, the health bar has kept going down, back up again throughout the whole game.
But the one thing you have to think about when picking against Yumi is like, oh, she's got infinite lane sustain. Interesting.
Is Yumi typically played as... Or I guess what role is Yumi typically played in?
Yeah, support.
A support?
So Yumi as a champion, like, so Zera first had the reaction because Yumi is meant to be played, like half of her kit is around being attached to another champion,
Okay.
which doesn't really happen in 1v1.
Mhm.
Alright, I think we are...
The game has ended. I think, Peter, you
Yes.
have lobby control.
I'll do it.
Blue team's turret
Alright, I got out. We both did.
Or who has long?
So just make a new one.
There we go.
Exit.
A summoner has disconnected.
This is me being unfamiliar with the League client. Alright.
I'm actually curious what Patrick's going to pull off with this now.
Yeah, so we'll have Mega Zero versus Vizera next.
Oh boy.
Someone pick Rengar.
I mean, Rengar is pretty dangerous on this map.
Yes.
Vizera, message me. You're ready.
Sure.
Or-
On Discord.
Oh yeah, message DM me on Discord what champion you want Mega Zero to play, and what items you want him to have.
5 health pots.
I remember when 9 health pots was a real start.
That was like in season 3, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Crystal
Yeah.
Flask.
Oh, we need to join the game so that we aren't on a 3-minute delay again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, I forgot. Choose a side.
Can we just like be off into the side and just like talk to everybody? Or do we have to sit in fountain?
You should sit in Fountain because it could mess with the experience.
Yeah.
We're here about competitive integrity.
I'm gonna put my champ in perma loop of taunt in the fountain.
Yeah. We're ready to start the game.
Oh, I'm the host.
You guys are
Good luck.
Alright. Mega Zero, you are playing Karthus.
Sounds good.
And
Interesting.
Zara, you were playing Nar.
Sure.
So you guys didn't actually go for okay. Interesting.
They're doing a
The
real
dawn
honorable
has
fight over
arrived.
here.
Am I supposed to know my items before I,
We
Alright.
didn't do that last time.
So, things that we can't pick Zillion.
Oh yeah, the rest of us who are spectating you said pick heroes that don't affect, or champions that don't affect the other champions. So on Howling Abyss, there's also the Poros, right? That you can feed
Yeah.
biscuits to, and then when you feed enough biscuits, then like they explode. So as you feed them biscuits, they get bigger and bigger until they like explode into a little mini Poros. A while ago, they had a thing where you could get a player icon, and then it would put like mustaches on them. Then I couldn't get it to work again, so
Oh, does it not work anymore? Very
I
sad.
don't know. No, I think it still does. I just don't play enough to be able to like make it work, or like I need to be the last one that feeds the Poro.
Alright,
There's some like weird
so-
stuff going on there.
Alright, so this Nar Karthus double fleet footwork matchup.
Interesting.
And then both of them pick Resolve because they both are tryhards and want to win.
Let's do the items now. Vizera, you will be using 4 mana crystals.
Oh, good. I thought I would go in this lane. That's good to know.
Yeah, all mana crystals, and then Mega Zero, all daggers.
Ooh, I'm excited.
However many is
Really?
maximum. Daggers.
Oh, darn, I can
that-
almost buy a 5th dagger. It's so sad.
Alright.
Wait, I could do that?
Yeah, I'm confused if you actually like blinked out of there or it was just timed very well.
I'm gonna retry this afterwards. Next round. I'm gonna try this.
All right, all right.
Welcome to the howling abyss.
I can't see both sides, but yeah, I'll just see Mega Zero.
Now we can. It's all good.
Yeah. Now I have to manually move the camera around.
The life of a real spectator.
Yeah.
Well,
Sorry.
before the
to
first
those
fight, we
watching
have
this.
the emoji fight. Also very equally important.
Alright, so we just got some taunts going out between the two players. Waiting for the creep waves to come
blocking.
in.
Oh wait, it doesn't work anymore.
I thought creep block isn't a thing in League of Legends.
Not in the same way as Dota.
Okay.
Look at this sweet footwork. Oh, this tiger's coming in.
oh,
This tiger's
oh,
coming in.
Is there the barrier? Is he able to get out?
GG.
GG. My attack speed was through the roof.
In a minute 23. Just went straight for the kill.
Those
Alright.
daggers.
The ignite, man. The ignite you knew was coming.
Yeah. Do we need to exit the game?
Yes.
Alright.
Everybody needs to lose the game.
The team needs you! No, they don't.
You're gonna get lever busted.
Yeah. Alright. Kaz. Who do you want to play against?
Oh, I have no clue. You can pick my opponent as well.
I feel like the most fair one would be me, but
Unranked versus unranked. That definitely sounds fair.
huh?
Said unranked.
Unranked versus unranked. Alright,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's
Team Red side is 2-0. Let's go for a 3-0 sweep.
Wow, the pressure. Alright, I guess now we need another impartial third party.
I don't
Right, I gotta join.
know any champions.
Oh, you can also
I don't
you
know
can
the
also
items.
pick you can also pick someone else to be the opponent,
Yeah.
to be your champion.
Yeah. Alright. I picked Mega Zero because he didn't get much time to play. But won. Neither did Viserys. Yeah, let's go Mega Zero against Kaz.
Right,
Gotta
now
get
you
that
need to
CMU
switch.
crew.
Oh yeah, we're on the same team.
Everybody just gets off.
Awkward.
By a traitor? Is it Google Amazon all over again? Betray the red team.
You can also switch your club tag. Wait, do you still have the Amazon club tag on you?
No, I think they kicked me out of that.
Actually, it just got completely deleted. I don't know how, but it happened.
Oh.
Alright.
Alright. Message me your champions
Do I need to add
come
you
up with
first?
something
on
new.
Discord.
Oh, on Discord.
Yeah.
Alright. I'm not gonna risk putting on Discord on this computer, considering previous things, so
You just use your phone.
yep.
Or you can use Skype too. Like. Okay. Mega Zero, send me Kaz's champion. Okay.
I'm the
where-
host.
Can I redo it?
Okay. Yeah.
I was scrolling through the champion list.
All right. Yeah, I'll say them now before we start the game in case you need to buy stuff.
Alright, I'm
Mega-
ready for the second meme.
Mega Zero, you are playing Callista,
Ooh,
Oh.
and Kaz, you are playing Zac.
Alright.
All right, all good?
Okay.
Yep.
Let's
Alright,
start the
we're good?
game.
The dawn has arrived.
matchup. Zac versus Callista. We've got a ranged versus melee.
Typically, ranged has the advantage, but Zac does have pretty good sustain because his abilities. Zac does have sustain because when he uses his abilities, his blobs come out, and when he runs over the blobs, he gets HP back. So essentially, he can sustain the whole lane. But Callista's actually a really strong tank. So.
Okay. Vizera, Aroga, any thoughts?
Well, I would assume that Zac has a lot of mana crystals too.
Probably.
Yeah, Zac is all mana crystals.
Surprise.
And
I'm
Callista,
back.
needlessly large rod.
Ooh.
Okay. Does she scale with an AP at all though?
Her
I don't
W.
think so, but
I
we're
think
about
her
to find
W.
out.
Which
but
doesn't
W
work
only
here.
works if I have a teammate.
Can
I
you
actually
buy
don't know
me this
either,
one?
but I figure it's not the case. So we'll find out. We'll find out together if AP Callista is meta viable.
It's experimentation time.
Alright, you watching Mega?
Watch.
Ah.
Oh, you turned them off for this game? Feel I was gonna report you for hacking?
Oh, I didn't catch that one on stream. Catch the other one on stream. Can review it later. Got this. What skin is that on Zac has?
Welcome to the howling abyss.
Full party Zac.
Cool party Zac. Let's get zoom in a little bit.
Like, Callista's ult doesn't even deal damage. What?
Welcome to bot lane, Mega Zero.
Have you played Callista before? Or is this
No,
totally new?
every once in a while.
Oh, okay, alright.
Maybe once.
Have you tried Callista Top? You have to come clean.
I have not.
Okay. It was a thing.
Got the sneaky Zac. Oh, going with the
God, I'm getting
duel.
beaten up.
I should use your biscuits. It's very important.
Feed the poros, save
Eat
alive.
the poros. So, what win condition do you think they're gonna be going for?
Mega Zero's probably looking for a kill. So is Zac right now. Oh,
Oh, and with Zac's passive, the Mega Zero needs to kill all 4 blobs.
Oh,
Oh, you got it.
there it is.
There he goes. Alright.
A summoner has disconnected. A summoner
see.
has
GG.
disconnected.
But now we have the finals.
Finals.
So what, Aroga versus Mega Zero then, finals?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have the very convenient finals because Mega Zero won twice.
Unless Zara, do you want to get another game in?
No, I think it's only fair that the two champions duke it out for glory.
Alright, alright. We've got
Oh,
Aroga
right.
versus
Yeah.
Mega Zero. As soon as Aroga can join the opposite team of Mega
Oh,
Zero. Yeah.
should be.
There's a spot open now. There we go. Message me your champion and item chosen for your.
Man, this is so hard.
Yeah, it really is
I
hard.
mean, in that matchup, I probably should have just waited until like 6 or 11. But patience is for people who are smart. So
Yeah.
Are you guys down for Ultimate Bravery? Because it actually is live.
the website is live, but that might run a little bit too long. Ultimate
No,
Bravery game.
that would be separate from.
Yeah, we can end the
live.
stream for that. Because would there be a way for me to spectate?
Well, see, now that Peter had thought about it, he's like, man,
Hey, more content. We could keep streaming it. We could like turn off the Skype and just have the game. But so I've received the hero and item from Mega Zero. I am waiting on you, Aroga.
Yep.
It was like
have you run through all the resourceless heroes yet? I mean, some of them are probably like pretty hard to beat in this meta.
Yeah, when choosing the heroes, I guess we can talk about this after Aroga sends me the hero.
After the lock-in?
Yeah, after the game starts. Like, what did you think about in choosing which champion to choose for your opponent?
So far, the meta has been the most creative way to waste 1,300 gold,
Yeah.
or the least creative way in terms of just putting 4 mana crystals.
Yeah, the 4 daggers seem to help a lot with Karthus.
The items call. Wait, what is that? Is there a list somewhere for the items in Holding Abyss?
There probably is.
Oh, are we seeing a not mana crystal matchup? All right, let's see it.
Potentially, if he's looking out the item list. I remember at one point there was a way to like make your own item build outs.
Yeah, that's in the client.
Yeah, and then that will have the list for the different maps.
Items there. Items.
But at least now you know you can't say call.
Yeah. I guess it wouldn't be fair to just be like, oh, what item? We can say yes or no, because then...
I don't think that item selector thingy works.
Okay.
I figured it out. So if you go to, did you? I don't know if you sent the same like I did, but if you go there,
Almost exactly the same.
there's a little drop down.
So zero.
It seems to work.
That's so powerful.
Under collection, then items, and then where?
And then in the top right, you can switch it to ARAM. So like I sent like a picture of what it looks like.
Yeah, that's what I had to.
That is a true bug report right there.
Yeah, the item just doesn't change for me.
Oh no!
It doesn't gray out at all?
Nope.
That's weird.
Well...
yeah, I will get...
It's an interesting, not all mana crystal layout that's gonna be happening.
I mean, I tried for the same thing with needlessly large file. I actually do think there is no AP scaling on Callista.
Yeah, there was
Tragic.
0 AP scaling. That's.
Okay.
I was reading my abilities, and that's when I was shocked that ultimate didn't even do any damage. What is that champion? Why does it deal 0?
Alright, Aroga has sent me in the hero and champion. Alright.
Alright.
I'm still the host. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Let's see the champions first. So Aroga, you'll be playing Vlad. It's Vladimir, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With mana crystals, probably.
You can't be sure.
Mega Zero, you'll be playing Yumi.
Ooh, exciting.
We're coming full circle. All right.
Does Vlad rely on mana?
No,
At
he does
all?
not.
He
It's
doesn't-
all
he has-
HP.
Yeah.
He relies on hitting level 9. For that.
So Yumi,
The
right?
dawn has arrived.
Yep.
Yumi. Mega Zero is Yumi.
So even if I lose, we know Yumi is the unbeatable champion of
Yeah,
this
Yeah,
tournament.
you
so
gave me a
you really
champion
win.
that's already won. What are you
Yeah.
thinking?
stop trying to get the league terminology correct. Loadouts. I was close. So how long have each of you been playing League of Legends?
Too long.
Too long.
Ditto.
Yeah.
I think 11 years.
I think I'm at 7. I've been doing since season 3.
Season 3?
Yeah, I've been in and out since beta.
And Visera, are you? Was that?
What was it? End of season 3 was what year? 2013, right?
Yeah, I think a season's a year, so you can just subtract from 10.
So we'll say like 6 or 7 years. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I started
what's my
like-
item?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
items.
yes. Mega Zero, you're it's all mana crystals all around.
Ooh,
Yo, so much sustain.
I'm excited. I have 1500 mana.
What is my item?
Also mana crystal.
Oh, fair. Why do I have? Oh.
I'm surprised if a hero or champion is relying on mana, why give the mana crystal?
Oh, that's because Yumi probably has enough mana anyway.
Yep.
Okay.
Like every time you auto, you get like 100 back.
Minions have
Oh
spawned.
wow. So in Dota, there was also a hero that like was built as a support, but like turned into like someone who's like mid. Or I'm also using all the wrong terminology as well, but is also like being played as not a support hero.
Like an AP or AD based.
Is that the Wisp hero?
The Wisp one. Like its abilities is also like a lot of them are reliant on.
Wow, we are getting hot and heavy already.
Was on the flash.
Oh, man.
For the blood.
No joking around here.
Yumi already back up to pretty much to full.
Yo.
Vlad trying to lifesteal some health back. Just trying to stay under tower, kiting around.
I mean, just look at this Yumi getting lane prio over Vlad. This is LCS level material over here.
Ooh, there are
Oh.
6.
There it is.
Got the first 6.
blood.
Squash like a bug. Did you hear that? You.
Alright. So Mega Zero, you did play professionally for a
Yeah,
time.
a long time ago.
Some time ago. How has like the CEA playing with like teams for the CEA like compared to playing professionally?
I mean, it has its similarity and differences. Like obviously when I played professionally, it was like it was a job, so it was like an 8-hour sort of thing. Whereas like CEA, everyone has like their own things going on. Obviously, we all have work, so we really only play maybe twice a week, like I was saying earlier. But it is kind of nice that like, especially for playoffs, we do kind of get together, we strategize, we like say like, okay, this is how we think pick bans will go. So I mean, it's still kind of that same sort of feeling, especially for the playoff matches where it's like, cool, let's like get together and like actually come up with a cool strategy.
Yeah, for a lot of people who participate in the CEA, like this is the closest they'll get to simulating like an LCS like experience, where they like look at other teams, have to figure out what kind of strategy those teams like to do, which is a lot easier in CEA because we have a lot more one-trick ponies and lopsided teams sitting around. So it's a lot easier to at a glance figure out what a team's general game plan is and strategize against that. And of course, the whole like there's things to win, there's a consistent team to play with, you have a reason to expand your champion pools, because if you come into the tournament being a one-trick pony, you'll quickly find out that's not a great idea because other people can see that you're a one-trick pony and react to it and stuff like that.
Yeah, especially one-trick Heimers know that.
Wow, the daggers continue.
I'm allowed to do that. The player's on my team, so. But he knows as well, so it's just a running joke at this point.
How many times have you gotten Heimer in like the last year or 2 years even?
Oh, actually, he got it once. So.
All right.
Did you win?
I'm not even sure.
I mean, to be fair, yeah, people let Yoshi get Rengar, so similar things have happened. I think he's actually gotten him more than once.
Okay. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you people for watching. We're gonna call it here. It was fun. And join us next time. And